wanted it because what he wanted was actually supposed to be run by a program, but the only thing Mr. Charles Babbage understood was mechanical, was building machines. So he built the machine, trying to use every method to make the difference engine do the same thing. But it wasn't really perfect. And so, between 1921 and 1930, he was still working on a lot of things because he was also a mathematician. Can you recognize that thing? This. Have you seen this before? Have you seen that before?
Yes.
Where? Oh, you did that? I'm coming to see it. That was what you saw in the first slide.
Yes.
That was Charles Babbage's difference engine. That was what he invented. That was what he was trying to work on. But he didn't get what he intended. And then the difference engine was never fully built. Babbage drew up the plans for it while still a student at Cambridge University. He invented a lot of things. That's not of concern to us today. And then he's clever. You know that. And they gave him a particular name. Who can tell me that name? Father of computer. When anything has a father and a mother. I see this. This is the person I have come to like so much. My mentor and anybody on earth that is going to take on programming must first go and check out this person. And thank God the power is changing now. There are more girls and more ladies in this than ever. She was the daughter. I always give a project. You have 2 projects pending now. The first one, you're going to create a poster of all this later. Okay? The second, maybe, okay. I'll talk with one of we can just transfer the file into all the computers so that you can read and then create your posters. Now, look at this. You're going to do a research on this. I'm going to check before I leave. Just like I'm going to check your posters. Famous, she was the daughter of the famous romantic poet Lord Byron, and she was a brilliant mathematician who helped Babbage in his work. She documented his work, which Babbage would never bother to do, and also wrote programs to be run on Babbage's machine. She's recognized as the first computer program. You know that she did something. While Charles Babbage was working on some mathematical projects, just like, let me use an analogy. Just like the person working on the project wrote 50 pages. I now gave it to you and said, please check this thing for me. By the time she returned it to Charles Babbage, it was already like 200 pages. Can you imagine that? Her input into that project was like 500% bigger than Charles Babbage's input into that project. And then the problem Charles Babbage had developing the first difference engine was that he didn't know that that thing, input and output, must run on a program. And for the first time, a woman called Lady Augusta Ada had an idea that if I write a program, the program that the machine will understand, then the machine will convert my input into an output. And then she did that. And she became the first ever programmer on earth. Is anybody inspired by that?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
All these years are so...
Yes, sir.
And is anybody going to start something like that?
Yes.
Okay, maybe at the end of this, or before the end of this program, you won't have made up your mind. Okay. This park, popular for the fact that some guys during the World War, Second World War, when did that happen? I'm testing general knowledge. Second World War, when did it happen?
1949.
Jesus Christ. 1949 to 1958.
No, 1949.
Eh? 1939 to 1945. How many people agree with that? She said 1939 to 1945. Is that correct?
Yes.
Only one person. Yes. What's your own answer? Okay. What's your own answer? Okay, please. During that World War, two guys stayed in this park and they were hijacking military codes. You know, military guys, they send codes across to themselves. And what those guys were doing was hijacking codes and translating it. They were perfect at translating codes. We call them decoders. You see what they are called. They were just hijacking those codes, translating it, and giving it to the British Army, letting them know that the Russians are already sending codes to themselves and they were going to attack. And they eventually grew up, two of them eventually grew up to making a huge impact in the development of computers. They are called code breakers. Look at them. Tommy and Turing. Great guys. Code breakers. They did not use their intelligence negatively after the war. What they did was to develop what they have done during the war into something new. Tommy Flowers invented a computer called Colossus, which was the world's first electronic digital programmable computer. It was huge. I mean, huge. Huge in size, not just an achievement. It was huge. I mean, depending on the program that Ada wrote, and they combined their intelligence in electronic with Chad Babbage's mechanical intelligence with Ada's programming intelligence, and they came up with this. While Tommy was working on that, Turing was working on something that was unique, and it was the breakthrough that we have today. And Turing published a paper called Uncomputable Numbers with an application to the that's Russia. The paper proved that a machine capable of processing a stream of ones and zeros, that is on and off, according to program instructions, will be capable of solving any problem. That was a prediction there in 1945. That if they can just get a machine to respond to binary zeros and ones, then that machine can be made to do anything. Is that right today? Just because computers can respond to ones and zeros, on and off, every single thing, including images and videos that we send, are first converted to binary before they are translated by the machine. Do you all agree with that? So that was the handwork of Alan Turing. So each time you're sending a message on computer, just always give it to him that this guy started that. Because their translation, their code-breaking experience led them to understand that machines can actually be made to understand these kind of things. Only ones and zeros. We call it on and off. Oh, you still need to write something. Oh. I just want to do this in 30 minutes. I hope somebody is putting me on.